This video presentation is intended to be used to assist with driver training requirements for the advanced microprocessor system. In today's competitive transport industry, you have to deliver the freshest product at the lowest cost. Carrier Transico helps you meet this goal with the advanced controller. Its unique message center provides more information more accurately and with more simplicity than conventional controllers, helping you manage the bottom line efficiency of your fleet more successfully. Along with the refrigeration technician, today's driver must also be familiar with certain aspects of unit operation. This video will cover those areas that particularly apply to the driver. Let's take a look at what happens inside the trailer when the refrigeration unit is running. Air passing through the evaporator coil is cooled or heated as required and is then blown out through the chute and over the load. In order to maintain an even and constant temperature in the trailer, space must be provided for air circulation both over and under the load as well as around the sides and rear. The air returns through the channels in the floor of the trailer and passes behind the bulkhead at the front of the trailer on its way back to the unit. All these passages must be kept free and clear to provide necessary airflow all around the load. The air temperature inside the trailer is referred to as the box temperature. It is the temperature of the air being returned to the unit and is shown on the right side of the microprocessor display. The set point is the temperature necessary to protect the load and is shown on the left side of the display. This is the temperature that you will set the unit to and will be the temperature you want the load to be when it is delivered. These refrigeration units are all equipped with automatic start-stop and are capable of automatically starting the engine at any time to cool down or warm up the trailer temperature as required. Always turn the unit start-run-off switch to off before opening any of the unit's doors or working on the unit. Be sure to pay attention to the safety and warning decals located on the unit. Additional safety information regarding refrigerants, the battery, and the engine coolant system is also found in the operator's manual. The front doors of the unit are opened by releasing a single latch. This Carrier refrigeration system is powered by a 4-cylinder Kubota diesel engine. The engine is direct coupled to a 6-cylinder compressor. The engine power will also turn the gearbox, which is then connected to the fans and the alternator. All of these components are connected with belts. However, in most cases you will not be able to see them because of the belt guard. Let's remove the belt guard for just a moment so you can see what is behind it. Always make sure that the start-on-off switch is in the off position before touching any of the belts. The lower belt should have about a half-inch of play. The upper fan belt should also have about a half-inch of play. The alternator belt should not have much play in it at all since it is so short. It is never a good idea to operate the unit with the belt guard removed, so we will reinstall it before starting the unit. The coolant recovery bottle is located behind the microprocessor side door. The coolant level should be visible in the bottle in the normal range. The radiator cap is located at the very top of the unit next to the air cleaner, on the same side of the unit as the coolant cover bottle. Never remove the cap when the engine is hot. In most cases, you add coolant only to the overflow bottle. The engine air cleaner is located just to the right of the radiator fill cap. A maintenance indicator is located on the side of the air cleaner. Normally, you will see a clear window. If a yellow flag appears in the window, the air filter needs to be replaced. The unit's battery is located at the rear of the compressor and can be accessed by opening the lower curbside door. The battery cable terminals are covered with protective boots. The positive cable is red, the negative cable is black. The engine oil dipstick and fill tube are on the front of the engine. The engine oil level should be checked daily. Before checking the oil level, make sure the engine has been turned off. To check the oil level, simply remove the dipstick, wipe with a clean rag, reinsert, then remove again to check the level. Add oil as needed, but use care to avoid overfilling. Visually inspect the engine oil filter and fuel filters. These should be dry and show no signs of leakage. The engine has a fuel pump located in the front of the engine. On top of the fuel pump is a hand-operated priming pump which is used for bleeding the fuel system if it runs out of fuel. To bleed the fuel system, first open the fuel bleed valve on the injection pump, then unscrew the pump plunger. Slowly push the pump plunger up and down to bleed the system. Any air and fuel bled out of the system will return to the fuel tank and will not leak out into the engine. You will need to give the pump about 150 to 200 strokes, then push the primer pump handle in and screw closed. Start the engine. Once the engine runs smoothly, close the bleed valve on the injection pump. Let's now look at how to operate a microprocessor. Throughout this portion of the program, we will be referring to the operator's manual for the advanced microprocessor system. If you have one of these available now, we suggest you get it out and follow along, starting on page 4. First, let's discuss the advanced microprocessor display and keypad. The main display is visible through the keypad or window. The main display will show the set point on the left side and the box temperature on the right. Just above the main display are the mode indicator lights. From the left side we have the heat, cool, and defrost lights. These show which mode the unit is currently operating in. On the right side are the start, stop, and continuous run lights. In the center is the alarm light, which will come on and blink when an alarm is present. The set point and box temperature can be shown in either degrees Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius. This will be indicated by either an F or a C right behind the box temperature. Make sure you're looking at the proper temperature scale for your operation. Just below the main display is the message center. This unique feature gives the operator step-by-step instructions, clear messages on operating status, and confirmation that changes have been made correctly. It makes the Carrier Micro the easiest to use in the industry. When the unit is functioning properly, status OK will appear. The keypad has been specially designed with dedicated keys for frequently used functions. It's color-coded for quick access, and less commonly used functions are hidden from view under Select key, making the keypad very operator-friendly. We're now on page 8 of the operator manual. The up and down arrow keys are used primarily to change set point and to scroll through information lists we'll be looking at later on in this program. The equal key will be used to enter new set points, start a pre-trip test, set a trip start, as well as other functions we'll also discuss later. The manual defrost key allows us to place the unit into a defrost cycle manually. The alarm list key is used to look at any alarms that may be present. The start-stop continuous key allows us to select either automatic start-stop operation or continuous run operation. The select key is used to access some of the less frequently used functions. When this key is pressed, you will be able to start a pre-trip, view data, view settings, or mark a trip start in the data recorder. Just to the right of the keypad is the Start Run Off switch. This switch is used to turn the unit on and off. Now that we've become familiar with the unit and verified there is fuel in the tank, we can start it up. Let's take a look at page 4 of the operator manual. First, we'll place the Start Run Off switch in the Start Run position. The microprocessor will turn on all the indicator lights first, then the LCD segments in the main display, and black boxes in the message center. This will last for 5 seconds while the microprocessor completes a self-test. Then, the main display will show the set point and box temperature. Either the start-stop continuous run indicator light will come on, and status OK should be a message center. If a different message appears, check page 24 and 25 of the operator's manual for your appropriate action to take. Next, we'll hear some of the unit's solenoid valves energize. And if the engine is cold, the glow plugs will come on automatically. Once the glow time is completed, a 5-second buzzer will sound just before the engine cranks and the unit starts up automatically. "15 seconds after the engine starts, either the heat or cool light will come on to show which mode the unit is operating in. You always need to check with your dispatch or road department for guidance on where the unit should be set for each individual load. As we mentioned earlier in the program, the set point can be adjusted from -22 degrees Fahrenheit to +89.6 degrees Fahrenheit. This particular trip calls for a set point of -22 degrees Fahrenheit and start-stop operation. To change the set point, simply press and hold either the up or down arrow key. You will notice that when the set point is above 0 degrees, there will be a plus sign in front of it. If the set point goes below 0 degrees, a minus sign will appear. Message Center will show directions up, down, to scroll, then equal to save. Continue to hold the arrow key until the temperature you want is shown in the display. The new set point will flash until the equal key is pressed. Once the equal key is pressed, the set point stops flashing and the new value has been entered into the memory. Set point changed will appear in the Message Center. You have 5 seconds in which to press the equal key. If the equal key is not pressed within 5 seconds, the main display will return to the previous set point and the entire display will flash for 10 seconds. The Message Center will show set point not changed. This prevents anyone from accidentally forgetting to enter the new set point. Now check to see which mode the unit is operating in. Our unit is in continuous run from last trip. In this mode, the unit will run continuously and cycle between high speed and low speed and between heat and cool to hold box temperature at set point. Continuous run is generally used when hauling sensitive products such as produce. Continuous run operation provides continuous airflow inside the trailer and very close temperature control of the product. Start-stop is used for products that are not sensitive to minor temperature changes and that do not require continuous airflow around the product. To change this to start-stop, press the start-stop continuous key once. The continuous run light will go off and the start-stop light will come on. The Message Center will show start-stop mode selected. Additional information is available on the best times to use start-stop or continuous run operation in the operator's manual. Just a word of caution. Anytime the start-stop light is on, the unit is programmed to start automatically without any help from you. Our unit is now running the auto start-stop mode. This means that the unit will run until box temperature is the same as the set point. Once box temperature and set point are the same, the unit will cycle off and remain off until it is needed once again to bring box temperature back to set point. There is a timer built into the microprocessor that prevents the unit from restarting too soon. Units leaving the factory are set for 20 minutes off time. This means that once the unit shuts off, it will not restart for at least 20 minutes. During this time, it is normal for box temperature to go up or down a few degrees. However, the load is always protected by an off-time override that will force the unit to restart early if the box temperature changes too much. The override temperature comes from the factory set for 11 degrees and can be adjusted by a refrigeration shop between 4 and 18 degrees. After the minimum off time, the unit will restart if the temperature is more than 3.5 degrees away from set point. The auto start-stop mode works well to conserve fuel by allowing the engine to operate only when needed. The off time can be changed from the factory setting of 20 minutes to between 10 and 90 minutes. This timer can be adjusted in most refrigeration shops. The manual defrost key will initiate a defrost cycle once the box temperature is below 40 degrees. Pressing the manual defrost key once will put the unit into the defrost cycle. The unit also comes with an automatic defrost switch and defrost timer. If the box temperature is too warm for the unit to go into defrost, the message center will show "Cannot start defrost cycle." When the defrost cycle does start, the defrost light will come on, the box temperature will be replaced by letters DF, and defrost cycle started will appear in the message center for a few seconds, then change to status OK. The defrost cycle will last from 5 to 20 minutes, depending on how much ice is on the evaporator coil. The unit should be manually defrosted once a day, and more frequently when the trailer is loaded with a warm, moist product such as fresh produce. Manually defrost the unit right after loading is complete, and again later if the box temperature is not coming down to set point as quickly as usual. The advanced microprocessor system continuously monitors unit operation. Carriers specially designed the alarm to make it easy for drivers to distinguish between alarms that need immediate attention to protect the load and those that can be checked at the next service interval. If you have the optional fuel, engine oil, and coolant level sensors, the message center can even communicate when the refrigeration system is low on fluids before it shuts down. If an abnormal condition is sensed, an alarm is automatically registered in the message center. The unit may or may not shut down depending on what the alarm is. Less critical alarms will not let the unit shut down, and the message center will show "Check at next service interval" instead of status OK. Shutdown alarms, such as high discharge pressure, will cause the unit to shut down. Should this occur, the message center will show "Unit shutdown, see alarm list." By pressing the alarm list key, all active alarms will be displayed. The first alarm that appears will be the last alarm that occurred. When the end of the list is reached, list end equal to clear will show in the message center. Pressing the equal key will remove the alarm. However, check next service interval will continue to be in the message center. This is not a warning, but simply a reminder to have the unit checked for why it shut down. This message can only be cleared by a shop technician. Alarms may also be cleared by turning the unit off, then back on again. All these alarms are conditions that will cause the fault light on the driver's light bar to be lit. If a shutdown alarm occurs, the cause of the alarm should be corrected before the unit is restarted. Pressing the select key once brings up a pre-trip selection. The message center will show "Press equal to start pre-trip." If the equal key is pressed, the unit will go into the pre-trip test mode. The message center will show "Test number 1 display." During this time, the entire keypad will light up. You'll need to verify this portion of the test. If any portion of the keypad does not light up, there is a problem that needs to be brought to the attention of shop supervisor. The unit will shut down for a few moments, and the microprocessor will then begin test number 2. At this point, the pre-trip will become automatic, and you can leave. Pre-trip generally lasts for 7 to 14 minutes, and at the end will show either pre-trip pass or pre-trip fail if a problem was detected. To view unit data, press the select key until the message center says "Press up/down arrows to view data." The data box will be lit. We're now on page 22-23 of the operator's manual. Following the instructions, press either the up or down arrow keys. Press up/down to scroll, the equal to lock will appear in the message center. Pressing the up arrow will scroll forward through the data list, bringing up readings such as the suction pressure, discharge pressure, and so on. Pressing the down arrow will scroll backwards through the list. The data will remain in the message center for 10 seconds, then return to status OK if no other keys are pressed. To lock data item onto the display, press the equal key. The data item will flag in the message center continuously until any key on the keypad is pressed. This is helpful when wanting to watch one of the sensors while the unit is running. The function change selection will allow us to look at the various function settings of the microprocessor. When function change is selected, the message center will show "Press up/down to view settings." A list of all the functions is shown in the operator manual, starting on page 32. Instructions for changing any of the function settings are also found in the manual. If the function shows in the message center with a lock symbol at the end of it, it is locked in place and cannot be changed from the keypad. A trip start marker may be placed into the data recorder by selecting Trip Start. The message center will show "Press equal to mark trip start." Pressing the equal key will tell data recorder that a new trip has just started. Trip start entered will appear in the message center. This is a very helpful marker when looking at a downloaded data report to determine just when a trip actually began. The Ultima 53 with the advanced microprocessor system is designed to start itself automatically under normal conditions, although in cold ambience it may be necessary to start the unit manually, since a longer glow time may be required. The manual glow crank switch has been moved to the rear of the electrical box on the Ultima and on the side of the control box accessible through the front row side door on the Ultra, Ultra XL, and Extra. The switch is now easily reached from beneath the unit. The switch moves from side to side. Toward the trailer is the glow position, and away from the trailer is crank. Hold the switch in the glow position, then turn the start on off switch to the start run position to preheat the engine. When the display powers up, manual start mode selected appears in the message center. The colder the engine is, the longer you will have to glow it. However, you never have to preheat the engine for more than 45 seconds. When the engine is preheated, place the manual glow crank switch into the crank position until the engine starts. Regardless of whether you start the unit automatically or manually, the unit is always turned off by simply placing the start run off switch into the off position. The driver light bar is located on the side of the trailer and gives the driver a visual indication of what the unit is doing. Defrost, heat, and cool lights will show which cycle the unit is operating in. The auto start continuous light will show which mode the unit is set for. The alarm light indicates an alarm. Check the message center for an alarm message. The out of range light will come on after the box temperature comes within 2 degrees of set point, then drifts away from set point by more than 6 degrees for longer than 15 minutes. Generally, this light will go back out by itself once the box temperature comes back into set point range. This video presentation and the literature that is available will help you become more familiar with the Carrier Transicold refrigeration and advanced microprocessor systems. Carrier Transicold is committed to making your job as a driver in today's demanding transport market less complicated by providing simpler, one-touch controls.